Let's go places, but let's be ready. Let's do our homework. Let's look out for each other. Let's look both ways before crossing. Let's remember what's important. Let's be optimistic, but just in case, let's be ready. Toyota, let's go places, safely.
Tomorrow is the 125th anniversary of a confrontation that ended America's most infamous family feud, the Hatfields and the McCoys. Researchers have now found the first physical remains of that final battle. Mark Strassman has an exclusive look at the evidence that could rewrite the history of these hillbilly clans.
In these East Kentucky hills, Bob Scott's family has owned this land, almost 50 acres, since 1902. It was the stage for a bloody chapter in American history that's also part of his family history, the Hatfield McCoy feud.
My mother's maiden name was Hatfield. My grandfather's name was Valentine Hatfield, and his wife was Ethel Hatfield.
And yet this is McCoy.
This is McCoy property.
Randall McCoy, patriarch of the Kentucky clan, once lived here, and his well still sits on Bob Scott's land. His blood enemy was Devil Hance Hatfield, leader of the West Virginia clan. This spot is also where the families finally ended a generation of fussin', fightin', and killing, sparked by a murder right after the Civil War.
Randall McCoy's brother was a Northern soldier. He comes back from the war. Devil Hance Hatfield and his family, who had fought for the South, let the word get out that they were out to get him. They eventually ambushed him and killed him.
Bill Richardson's an authority on the vendetta. Between 1865 and 1888, a dozen members of both families, men and women, were murdered in a series of interstate raids and reprisals. He showed us various places where the families spilled blood.
This is where there was a trial over a hog that really began all the hard feelings and all the gunfire.
January 1st, 1888. A half-dozen Hatfields walked 6 miles from West Virginia to Kentucky.
And they all get drunk on New Year's Eve and get this wild idea, let's go over and kill all the McCoys and our problem will be solved.
This climactic battle came to life in a History Channel miniseries earlier this year starring Kevin Costner. The Hatfields, outside, opened fire on the McCoy family inside their cabin.
This was cold-blooded, middle of the night, ambush, killing women.
Randall McCoy escaped, but his son and daughter were shot down when they ran outside, and his beaten wife left for dead.
It was a turning point in the feud. Within 20 days, the Hatfields were under arrest, and the trials followed shortly thereafter. 23 years of this conflict, and then almost like a light switch, it's over.
For 125 years, the most famous family feud in American history was just a story in these hills separating West Virginia and Kentucky. There was no evidence, no artifacts, no science to prove how it happened. Until now.
Oh, I got a bullet!
This past September, a team with the National Geographic Channel series Diggers used metal detectors to search the hillsides around Randall McCoy's homestead. They found 10 bullets from the New Year's Day massacre. The trajectory of the bullets led them to this spot near the McCoy well, and this find.
Burnt wood, square nail, McCoy house burnt down. Man, that's awesome.
They outlined the footprint of the McCoy cabin, and a team of state archaeologists began excavating.
Put that in your hand. You're holding a piece of American history.
Richardson and Scott showed us some of the 40 artifacts.
That rifle bullet makes contact with something, goes into the ground, stays there for 125 years.
Until today.
Until today. This is the thing that confirms everything else. This piece right here, this confirms, oh, it was the cabin.
Why is this find so significant?
We don't have any bullets that were fired at the OK Corral. We don't have a bullet that Jesse James fired. Think about it. Here you've got actual bullets fired during one of the most famous conflicts in American history.
125 years ago tomorrow, Bob Scott's Hatfield ancestors came calling, guns firing.
It put chill bumps on you to realize what had happened here at that time. And after the episode of the movie, we've had thousands of people that's visited the well, and it makes you think more about what could have occurred, what really happened that night.
But nothing found will ever settle which side in America's most famous family feud was more at fault. As a Hatfield descendant,
Do you understand this feud today?
What?
Around here, them's fighting words. For CBS This Morning, Mark Strassman, Hardy, Kentucky.
And the Diggers series premieres tomorrow night on the National Geographic Channel.